Hey everybody, Scott Lear here at B-Chord. We are sitting at the Fillmore and we are talking to Mr. Phillip Michael Parsons. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How about you, Scott?
I'm doing great. So we are here tonight. You are opening up on the stage for Mr. Chris Janson. How you feeling?
It's crazy, man. I remember the first time we played a Chris Janson song at one of our shows, and it was kind of funny. One of my buddies kept begging me to play "Buy Me a Boat," and I was like, "Dude, that's an awesome song," but I wasn't a great guitar player, so I finally sat down and learned that song. So it's crazy to actually have this moment to share a stage with him. So
that's so cool. And you know, doing that, you play a lot. The nerves there. What do you do with that for an artist?
It's been a while since I've experienced nerves. You know, just because we get used to playing shows where we know some people there, at least some people, and you know, I think that we've worked our butts off for a chance like this one, you know, and so anytime we get a chance like this, it's still a little nerve-wracking.
I can only imagine.
But you know, I think that in a way that's kind of like creates a little bit of extra energy that you kind of need to harness, because when you have that energy, you kind of come out on stage and it just, you know, I feel like people feed off of it a little bit. So
very true. I mean, you got to harness that in a way, because you're gonna go out there.
You have
like,
to harness it and try to
boom!
make it a positive, because it could quickly become a negative if you're like not careful. So
I get that. So give us a little bit of a background about you, how you got into music.
And I guess, you know, not making too long of a story, I grew up with 9 siblings, and my mom was super musical, and I kind of grew up with her playing the piano and making us sing, and then, you know, I guess when I was younger, I played a little bit of guitar, but not much. But 3.5, 4 years ago, some things changed in my family where I was finally able to kind of focus on not raising some of my siblings and a lot of the family stuff, and start looking at a little bit more of what my dreams were and what I wanted to do. I was working for the government, for the Department of Defense, and you know, that was always something I enjoyed, but it wasn't really necessarily like what I was like really passionate about. And my mom ended up marrying a guy who's amazing, a great dude that took care of all my siblings that were at home. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what am I doing? You know, what do I want to do? So I started playing a little guitar, and you know, decided to post a video or two, and you know, it got a little bit of a positive response. So I just kept working at it, and I was like, you know what if I could actually play a show? And you know, so just kind of kept progressing from there.
That's awesome. So you had an EP, I think it was in October, that came out, right?
My first one came out in May of 2016.
Okay.
And then last year, October of 2017, I put out the first album with our new management, and it's kind of like we kind of spent a lot of time figuring out like who I was, what we wanted to actually put out there, the type of songs we wanted to write, that type of stuff. So 2017, October 2017 is when we put out the last album.
That's great. And any new stuff that everybody can be anxiously awaiting?
Absolutely, yeah. We've been writing like crazy, and my buddy Sam Groh and I, who I do most of my writing with, we've been down in Nashville at his house just nerding it up in the studio and trying to write some good stuff. So we have 6 songs, and it's kind of turned into 6 because we originally set out to put like 4.
Okay.
You know, but we just couldn't choose from some of the songs we're writing. So we have 6 songs coming out this spring.
Okay.
And an album.
Great.
It's called Made Of.
Made Of.
Yep.
Okay. And I got to say, off the last one, I think it was off the last one, I'm pretty sure, Bad Girl.
Yes.
Killer song.
Bad Girl, yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit about the writing process of that, how that all came about.
Yeah, that song was actually written by Sam. And,
Okay.
you know, when we were sitting there trying to select songs for the last album, we were sitting there and we had written a bunch of songs. And I heard that song, and you know, one of my favorite songs is the Tim McGraw song where, "Baby, I'm a real bad boy, but
Yep.
I'm a real good man."
Yep.
And I just loved how he twisted that around. I feel like it just fit, like, you know, it's one of my favorite sayings of all time. And I was like, dude, as soon as I heard that song, I was like, Sam, let me cut that song, please.
Oh, that's great.
So that's how that one came about, with us cutting that song.
That's great. And it sounds like, you know, you writing with Sam a lot. What is your writing process? I mean, I'm sure there's times where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, got something in my head. How does that usually work?
I mean, sometimes, you know, you have this idea and it just flies into the pen. And I guess when I first started writing, it was guitar.
Okay.
And you just sit there and try to like come up with something. But lately we've been working at this angle. It's like, to me, it's cool as hell because it's different. Sam and I will sit down and we'll think of a title, and we'll start building a track on like Pro Tools or one of the GarageBand type apps,
Sure.
or programs on your computer, and we'll start building a track, and that kind of fits the style that we're wanting the song title to be after. If it's like a sexy song, or if it's like, you know, more of like our song Made Of, that's like, you know, it's kind of like a rock and country song. And then we'll kind of like build a track, and then we'll actually write to that track, you know. And sometimes we'll make some edits to the track, but it kind of like allows you to get in the moment and write stuff that it's like, you know, like perfect for the track, you know, and it's cool. It's a cool way to write.
And it's cool because and you hear so many people do it different ways. Some people just have it pop in their head and they're like,
some people
gotta write this down.
You know, a pen and a pencil.
Yeah, others on music. I totally get it. So I was scrolling around, which I do a lot, looking through social media stuff and all. And when I was going through, I saw "Wish You Would." You had a clip of that with an audio clip. Tell us a little bit about that song.
So the last album we put out, we kind of put an emphasis on writing some sexy songs, and just because the first album I put out when I was still just getting started, it was a very PG album, and this last album in October, we wanted to write some more like sexy songs. So that was kind of the theme to the album, and so this new album, we wrote a lot of stuff that wasn't necessarily along that theme, a little bit more vulnerable stuff. And we had some rock and country stuff, similar style to like Bad Girl, but it's more like what I'm made of type stuff. Sure. And then we were sitting there like, we still need that, like at least one song that's like sexy on the album. So we were sitting there, and I was scrolling through all the different song titles that we've come up with, and I actually had a song title written down that was meant to be for something else, like a little bit more of a hard country song, like I Wish You Would, like a tough guy kind of song. And then I was scrolling through that, and I was like, you know what? We could turn that song title, Wish You Would, into more of a sexy song, like Girl, I Wish You Would, So then we just started building the track and writing to it, and that's actually probably the song, deep down that I'm the most proud of and excited for on this album. It's just kind of, it's, to me, every single time we play it night in and night out, I just kind of like get that, like, you kind of puts you in a moment. So I'm excited about that song.
That's great. That's great. So let's go a little less serious. So, all right. And so give them 2 interesting facts about you that they might not know.
Yeah. So the first one is actually something I used to be embarrassed about. I don't really care anymore. But, I was homeschooled my whole life. I actually went to first grade in a public school. And after that, my parents decided to homeschool me. So I was homeschooled as a kid, and I think maybe some people know, but a lot of people might not know, I'm actually one of 10 kids.
Okay.
So I have 6 sisters and 3 brothers, and I wouldn't wish 6 sisters on anyone just because, they're all amazing. But when you're trying to like be the oldest brother of 6 sisters, it's you can spend a lot of nights not sleeping too well. So
I can imagine. I have one daughter, and it is already giving me more gray hair than I have.
How old is she?
So she is 4.
4. Yeah. Man. So you.
And I have 3 boys. So
okay. Well, hey man, at least you have a majority of boys, because are they older, younger than her?
Older. So
okay,
19,
perfect.
15, 4, 2.
Perfect.
So
I feel bad for any dudes trying to talk to her.
I know. We already kind of worked that out, that she's gonna have everybody sitting on the porch. They're gonna be there waiting every single time. So
waiting in the bushes.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna ask you a question we ask of every single artist that we do. We have a big B chord signature question. You are stranded on an island. You can take one guitar, instrument, whatever it may be with you. What would it be? And also give us like sentimental value too.
Yeah. So I have one guitar that I've played every single show. It's the only instrument I've ever played at a show. And it was also the first guitar that I went out and bought.
Okay.
And it's a Taylor guitar. So I would definitely take my Taylor guitar. And, that guitar will always be like, the guitar that worked us to the point where we had opportunities like this, to play with Chris Janson. So, that's definitely an instrument.
Yeah, right there, right?
Yep.
So I'll give you a platform real quick. Let everybody know where they can follow you, social media, all that kind of good stuff, and anything you want to tell them.
Sure. So you can follow me. It's Phillip with 2 L's, middle name Michael and last name Parsons. So it's Phillip Michael Parsons, and that's the same for Instagram and Facebook. And I am very active on both, but Instagram is kind of the one that I've like focused on a little bit more lately. So it's Instagram and Facebook. If you look up on Facebook, I do all my activity on my personal page, so you'll see the music page and the personal page. But definitely try to send me a request on the personal page, and that's where I do all my activity. So
awesome, Phillip. Thank you so much for doing this. We truly appreciate it, and you're going to kill it out there tonight. I can't wait to see. Everybody, thank you so much. Follow us at bchord615 or on the web www.bchord.net. Thank you so much.